Hi, I'm Katie, a manifestation expert who's helped people all over the world attract love and manifest the greatest relationships of their lives. Each week, I share the real secrets to manifesting love and creating a better dating life, so you can finally be done with exes, ghosters, commitment phobes, and all the other lovely walking red flags, and finally manifest your person. I'll also be answering all your manifesting questions and unpacking what's hitting the headlines when it comes to dating, love, and relationships. This is That Manifesting Podcast. Welcome back to That Manifesting Podcast. I'm Katie and I'm back to help you on your journey to manifesting a better dating life and the greatest relationship of your life, hopefully. So this week's episode has been prompted by a lot of conversations that I've been having with single people about dating apps. I'm often asked to look at people's profiles really just to see if they're aligned with manifesting love and on the right track to attract the right people in. And over the years, I've noticed a really interesting pattern, which I'm going to share with you today. So later in this episode, in the Real Talk segment, I'll be sharing how to identify if your dating profile is a mirror or a mask for manifesting love. But before all of that, let's get into listeners' messages. We have got a corker of a listener's message today. Now, the lovely lady has asked to be kept anonymous, and you will understand why when you hear this message. I loved this story and I can't wait to share it with you. So I'm just going to leave it there and go straight into it. I'm literally going to read it exactly as she sent it because she has worded it perfectly. Okay, let's get into it. Right, she says, "Hi Katie, please keep me anonymous. I had to share the wildest day of my life and the reason I'm officially done with bad boys. I've always gone for lads that are a whole bad boy vibe. It never ends well, but I keep going back for more. Anyway, a while back I matched with this guy on a dating app and he was exactly my type. He was gorgeous, tall, fit, and seemed like he had a great personality. We messaged for a bit, he was funny and flirty, and we set up a date. He pulled up outside my house in this brand new white Audi, and I won't lie, I was really impressed. The date itself was actually lovely. We went for food, he was charming, he made me laugh, he paid the bill without a fuss. I was genuinely thinking that this one might be different. Afterwards, he offered to drive me home. We got back in the Audi and we're chatting away. But then I noticed that he's driving a bit fast. At first, I thought maybe he was just showing off, but then he kept accelerating down this dual carriageway. I was gripping the seat, trying to stay calm, and I said, "Can you slow down a bit, please?" But he didn't answer. He went completely silent. That's when I saw the blue flashing lights in the mirror. Police were right behind us. My stomach dropped. I looked at him, expecting him to pull over, but he just stared ahead, stony-faced, not saying a word. Suddenly, he swerved off into a lay-by, slammed the brakes, jumped out of the car and just ran, full-on sprinted into the night like something out of Line of Duty. I was frozen, just sat in the passenger seat like what the actual hell is happening. Within seconds, there's a helicopter overhead, searchlights sweeping the road, and 2 policemen go running past me, chasing after him into the woods at the side of the dual carriageway. I couldn't move. I was just sat in this shiny Audi with my handbag on my lap like I'd accidentally joined an episode of Police Interceptors. Then another police car pulls up. An officer comes to my door and I'm babbling. I don't even know him. We met on a dating app. They take me to the station, sit me down, and that's when they tell me the car is stolen. And apparently my date was a prolific car thief that they'd been after for ages. I thought I'd met this fit, mysterious guy with a flashy car. Turns out the car wasn't even his, and the only thing mysterious about him was how many sets of handcuffs he'd avoided over the years. They let me go without charge, obviously, but that was the moment I swore off bad boys forever. I can't trust myself anymore. Give me a man with a boring job and a Mini. At least I'll get home safe. Love the podcast. Keep the episodes coming so I know how to manifest someone better than a car thief. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for sending that story in. I am in awe of that story. I mean, I've got some bad dating stories, but you beat me, hands down. That was fantastic. I would love to hear from the rest of you. Do you have a hideous dating story? Do you have a question about manifesting love? Anything that you want to send in, I would love to hear from you. You can text into the show. The link to do that is in the show notes. Or you can send me a DM on social media. My name on social media is The Manifesting Mindset. You can send me a DM. And of course, if you want to be kept anonymous, that is okay with me. Okay, I love that. Thank you so much. Let's get into Ick of the Week. The public have spoken, and I am happy to deliver. I have been asked for more of my hideous dating stories, so I'm going to give you one of my own, where I gave myself the raging ick. And it was the time where I dated someone and accidentally became a sex worker. Yes, it is as bad as it sounds. Okay. Now, I have to preface this with the disclaimer that this was years ago. I'm talking years and years ago. So please don't judge me. If you'd have known me many years ago, you would have found me completely different to the person that I am today. I made some bad decisions. Anyway, let me get into the story. So I was on Tinder and really trying to meet someone decent. And one day I matched with this guy. And when I say he looked like a movie star, I'm not even exaggerating. He was beautiful. And he said that he was a racing driver. He was from a European country. I'm not going to say too much about him because I don't want to give away any details where it would be known that it was him. Anyway, I matched with him and I thought, I think this is a catfish. I don't think that this is real, but let's have a bit of a play about with it and see where this goes. Anyway, really lovely conversation. And he said, you know, I'm staying near to where you live because I'm here with work and I would love to take you out for a drink. I said, okay, let's do this. I thought, I'm going to out you, you nasty little catfish. And I arranged to meet him at a pub close to my house because I thought that way I can make a quick escape, get home really quickly. Anything happens, I'm gone. I pull up in the car park before he was due to get there so I could check. Kept all my doors locked just in case. And I thought, I'm not getting out the car until I see who he is and see who turns up. Anyway, bang on time, this car pulls up and he gets out the car. And it's the guy. Like, he looks the same as the pictures. I sat in my car. I was thanking God. I was thanking the universe. I was thanking Tinder. I was thanking anything and everybody for sending me this gorgeous guy. Got out the car, went in for a drink, and he was lovely. Really, really nice guy. We had a great conversation. We were chatting. It was all flowing. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And he said, oh, I'm only here for this weekend. And then I go back to the country that I live in. But I do come back here kind of regularly. So I thought, well, this could have potential. A bit of inter-European dating. I'm not against that. So anyway, we ended the date. I was a perfect lady. I just gave him a kiss on the cheek and we went our separate ways. And at the weekend after that, I'd got a pre-planned night out. And Katie of yesteryear would like to go out and get rip-roaring drunk, as we've already discovered through my stories on this podcast. And he messaged me and said, I would love to see you, which would have been the Saturday night. And I said, oh, I'm already out. He said, well, look, let's see if we bump into each other because I'm supposed to be out too. But if not, maybe we can meet up later. I said, okay, sounds good. I went about my business, getting drunk, throwing myself around every dance floor I could find, and didn't hear from him, didn't see him, so I went home. After I'd got home, I was still in my going out outfit, little short skirt, low cut top, as I do, or did, don't do that anymore, as I did. And I got a message from him that said, where are you? And I said, oh, I've already gone home. He said, oh, I'm back at my hotel. Come and see me. Now, I wasn't a stupid girl. I knew where this was going. And I thought, do I? Do I not? And I thought, I don't normally do booty call type things. But I thought, come on, Katie, live a bit. Drunk Katie thought it was a great idea. So off we went. I ordered a taxi, used the money I'd got in my purse to get my taxi there. And this was before the days of contactless. I think it was even before the days that taxis let you use cards. This is how long ago this story is from. So I went to the hotel and I walked in and he came and met me and he was very charming as always. And we went to his room and that's where I'll end that bit of the story. A bit later, I said to him, I really need to go home. It was kind of the early hours of the morning. And I said, I really need to get back home. And he said, okay, no problem. And then I realised I was getting a little bit more sober at that point. And I thought, oh no, I used the last of my cash to get here. How the hell am I going to get home? He had been drinking, so he couldn't drive me home. I obviously didn't have my car. So I said to him, I have a problem. And he said, what? I said, I don't have any money to get home. I need to get a taxi, but I don't have the money. And he said, how much is it? And I said, probably about £20, which was quite a lot back then. Like today, it would have been around like 50 quid. So I said, it's like £20. And he said, oh, okay. He went over to his nightstand and he got this wad of cash. And I saw him peel off 2 20s, so £40. He came over and he put it in my back pocket and patted my bum. And I got it out and it was £40. I said, no, it's only 20. And he looked at me dead in the eye and he said, it's okay. I have a great time. So he thought I was charging him and just coming up with a story, clearly, about a taxi. And I realised in that moment that he thought I was a sex worker and he had happily paid me £40. So any normal person would have stood there and said, no, you're misunderstanding. I genuinely don't have the money on me to get a taxi. I will pay you back. Oh, I didn't do that. I said, thank you. And I left. So, even telling you that story, it gives me the shudders because it is just hideous. So yes, I accidentally became a sex worker for the evening. Now, there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want to do. But that was not my intention. So, that's how I icked myself out on that date. Please stop asking me to share these stories because it's just embarrassing. Okay, I'm ready to move past this now. Let's get into real talk. For today's Real Talk segment, as I said at the top of the show, we're covering whether your dating profile is a mirror or a mask, because we do live in this world now where dating apps have basically become the shop window for love. And just like a shop window, everyone that's on them is curating and polishing and arranging their display to look its best. But often, the version that you might be putting out there on dating apps isn't always you. It's like a highlight reel. It's a glossy version. And that kind of profile isn't a mirror, a reflection of who you really are. It's a mask. And sure, masks can get attention. They might get you matches, messages, maybe even some dates. But masks don't get you in alignment. They don't bring in the kind of connection that you're actually trying to manifest, because at the end of the day, people are matching with the character that you've created to try and make yourself feel more confident. So if you've ever felt like the conversations fizzle, or like the person that you're matching with doesn't get you, or you leave dates feeling a bit flat, even though on paper it should have been a good fit, this could be why. You could be swiping, matching and connecting, but from behind a mask. And today I want us to dig into that a bit more, because your dating profile is more than a couple of photos and a witty bio, because it is your energetic calling card. It's a signal that you're sending out to the universe about who you are, what you value and what you're available for. And if that signal is scrambled, if it's not really you, then the universe is only going to send you more scrambled energy back. And honestly, being on dating apps is really a bit of a waste of time. So let's dive into why people wear this metaphorical mask on dating apps. Well, most people aren't showing up authentically on dating apps. Psychologists have studied this, and the findings are really quite fascinating, because they found that men often highlight their height, their job status, or their physical traits. Now, women tend to curate their most flattering photos using filters or old shots where they thought they looked better. Almost everyone exaggerates or edits themselves in some way. Now, on the surface, that seems harmless, like people are just trying to put their best foot forward. But underneath, it's all driven by fear. Fear of rejection, fear of being ordinary, fear of not being enough. So under all the conscious actions of building a great dating app profile is usually an unhelpful subconscious belief that goes something like, they wouldn't want me if they saw and knew the real me. When you lead with a mask, anyone who chooses you isn't actually choosing you. They're choosing the character that you've carefully constructed. And that's why so many people feel a little flat, awkward, or even disappointed when they finally meet their match in person. Because deep down, the connection wasn't with the real you, it was with the mask. And when it comes to manifestation, what you put out into the world is energy. Imagine your dating app profile like a little radio tower. Mask energy is static and cracked. People pick up the fuzz, not the real signal. It's distorted. But mirror energy is crystal clear. People hear you. The universe hears you. Love tunes in. It tells both potential partners and the universe who you are and what you believe you're worthy of. So if you're presenting yourself from subconscious fear, from the idea that you're not enough unless you put a shiny filter over your life, then that's exactly the frequency that you're broadcasting. And the universe will send you people who match it. People who are also hiding, also inconsistent, also unavailable at a deeper level. And that's why starting from a mask creates situations where you're constantly maintaining the performance. So you might feel like you can't let the other person see the real you. You might edit yourself, tone yourself down, laugh at jokes that you don't actually find funny, pretend you're more chilled out than you actually are. And that's not being in alignment. That's not how you manifest love. Because you don't manifest what you hope someone might see in you. You manifest what you energetically present. When you drop the performance, when you stop trying to prove that you're worth swiping right on, when you trust that you are already enough, that's when your energy shifts and the universe takes notice. That's when the people who are aligned, grounded and ready for real connection can finally come into your world. So how do you know if your profile is a mask or a mirror? Well, mask energy is very easy to spot once you know what to look for. And you can actually start to spot them on other people's profiles. Here are some examples. So number one is being too generic. So if you see things like love to travel, work hard, play hard, that could be anyone. It doesn't speak to your soul, your humour, who you are as a person and your heart. The second one are photos that you can tell are old. So you think, I look my best here, so I should use this. But energy is current. Your vibrancy today is what the universe responds to, not that filtered memory. The pick me bio is number 3, writing things in your bio that you think other people want to hear instead of what's actually true about you. For example, things like, I'm super spontaneous and love going with the flow. But in reality, you're a meticulous planner who schedules everything down to the minute, but you think saying that sounds boring or uncool. That's a classic pick-me move, trying to portray a version of yourself that you believe people will swipe right on instead of showing that quirky, beautiful, unique and authentic you. Now, mirror energy, on the other hand, is magnetic. It's not focused on impressing people. It's focused on expressing who you are. It's about being energetically aligned with yourself and letting love come and find you in that place. So some examples of mirror energy that you might see in bios. First one would be owning your quirks. Things like, I collect ridiculous mugs and drink coffee like it's my job. It's very small, but it's specific and it's very real. It gives people a taste of your personality and invites those who resonate to come and talk to you. The second one, photos that show you today. Messy hair, you right in the middle of a belly laugh. That's authentic. Number 3, truthful intentions. Something like looking for something that feels like teamwork and belly laughs, not pen pals. There's no fluff. There's no being an arsehole about your standards. Like, I once honestly saw a profile bio that said, if you're looking for a one-night stand, you can just piss off. Like, you can be truthful about your intentions, but in a nice way. Share your heart's real intention, but don't do it from a nasty standpoint. And number 4, have a look at your bio and see if that energetic subtext is saying, this is me, take it or leave it. I'm ready for the right person to come forward. There should feel like a confidence there, but not forced. It's grounded and it radiates self-worth. So can you see the difference? Hopefully you can see that the mask is about performance. It's about controlling the perception. The mirror is about giving yourself permission to be fully, unapologetically yourself, but in a beautiful, kind way. And it's the mirror that manifests. The mask attracts people, but only superficially. The mirror calls in aligned love, the kind that feels effortless because your energy is authentic. When your profile reflects the real you, you're broadcasting your true frequency. You're telling the universe and potential partners that this is me. If you match with me, it's because you resonate with me. Now, all of that being said, being authentic doesn't mean turning your dating profile into a confessional booth. You're not auditioning for a therapy session, and no one wants a reading list of your life's tragic chapters. So authenticity is about showing your energy, your quirks, your spark, the things that make you uniquely beautiful you. You don't like camping? That's okay to say that camping is your worst nightmare. Don't feel like you have to be something that you're really not. Think of this as your bio should be a spotlight on your wonderful, gorgeous self, not a floodlight on all of your worst stories, your feelings, and all the things that make you feel insecure. It's fine to share that you love surprising your partner with pillow fights on a Sunday morning, or you cry at adverts, or you sometimes snore after a night of one too many cocktails. That's charming. That's personality. It tells the right person, here is someone human, fun, alive. It's magnetic. What it's not is a list of your neurosis, your ex's failings, or every single insecurity that you've ever had. And authenticity also doesn't mean bragging. It's not about proving your worth or begging for validation or being fake humble. It's about radiating confidence in your messy, imperfect, wonderfully human self. You want people to see who you are at your core. The parts that make you laugh, make your friends laugh, make you curious and make life more fun. So the key question to ask yourself is, does my profile Give the right person a real taste of me, not a catalogue of my trauma, not a resume of acceptable qualities, not a highlight reel of perfection, but a real, tangible sense of my energy, my humour, my quirks, my heart. That's the mirror. That's what calls in love that matches your vibe. Show your realness, your joy, your lovable weirdness. Shine your light and fuck anyone who doesn't get it. They are not your people. The ones who resonate with your energy, they'll lean in, swipe right, message you, and stick around. Your dating profile, it's your vibrational signal. It's a broadcast of your energy. It's your readiness to receive love. And the universe, like a perfect little matchmaker, responds not to your intentions or clever copy, but to your energy. So when you show up with a mask, you're essentially saying, I don't trust that I'm enough as I am. And that energy has gravitational pull. It will just attract people who are operating from similar places of uncertainty, fear, and misalignment. So you'll end up in this feedback loop, mismatched dates, shallow conversations, and the subtle but persistent feeling that something's off when you meet someone in real life. When your profile is authentic, when your photos, your bio, and your intentions reflect your actual self, your energy says, I know who I am, I know what I want, I trust that the right person will meet me here. And that shift is seismic in terms of manifestation, because masks attract resistance, mirrors attract resonance. Now, knowing whether your profile is a mask or a mirror is the first step. If it's a mirror already, happy days, keep bloody swiping. But if it is a mask, then here are some practical ways to make that shift to a mirror. So, with your bio, what I want you to do, I want you to read your profile out loud, not in your head, out loud, preferably when you're on your own. Probably not a good idea to do it on the train, although you never know, you might meet the man of your dreams on the train. But listen carefully to the words. When you read it out loud, does it sound like you, or does it sound like some sort of polished audition for the most dateable human? Are you listing aspirational traits or quirky real life details that make you human? Take each line in your bio and ask, is this me, or is this me trying to be liked? Rewrite anything that's performative with a truth, a quirk, or a contradiction that's uniquely yours. Small specifics create that mirror energy that resonates with the right people. Number 2, the photo test. Go through each photo and ask, would my best friend look at this and say, yep, that's totally you? If you're not sure, ask them. If the answer is yes, you're sending mirror energy. If the answer is no, maybe it's a 5-year-old gym selfie or a heavily filtered group shot, delete it. Remember, your photos are visual signals of your frequency. The closer they reflect your current self, the stronger the alignment. Messy hair, bad lighting, silly faces, they're magnets for the people who actually match your energy. And if you end up in a relationship with someone, they'll see all sides of you anyway, so why put the fake, perfectly polished pictures up? Pick 1 to 2 photos that show your real day-to-day vibe, whether it's cooking, reading, being goofy, hanging out with your friends, working. But then pair that with one wow thirst trap photo that feels like you at your best, but it's still real. This isn't about you looking like some little, swamp donkey in your photos. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying be real in your photos, but of course you want to post like the picture that you're most proud of from recent times that shows you looking like an absolute goddess. Of course, we all need one of those photos. And number 3 is the permission slip. So before sending a message or updating your bio, stop asking yourself, will this get me more attention or more matches? That's scarcity thinking, and it just perpetuates the mask. Instead, ask yourself, will this help the right person to recognise me? You're not auditioning for a crowd of strangers. You're trying to curate a vibe that only the right people can vibe with. If they swipe left, great, they weren't on your wavelength anyway. So give yourself permission to show the funny, weird, human side of yourself. Be quirky, specific, or even vulnerable in your bio or messages without sounding like you're reading off your trauma. So let me ask you something, and I want you to be really honest with yourself. After listening to this, is your dating profile actually a reflection of who you really are? Or is it a mask that you've built to get chosen? The mask will always get you attention, but the mirror gets you aligned people. So the next time you want to smooth over your edges, hide your quirks, or pick the most flattering but not quite real version of yourself, pause. Remember, you don't want someone who falls for the mask. You want someone who recognises the mirror. And that's where the universe meets you. That's where the love that you're actually looking for can finally appear. That's it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Until next time, sending you lots of love, light, and manifesting vibes. Take care.